Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome to Draft Hype by Draft Bros U. I'm Christian S. Rauh here with draft analyst Austin Morris, and we're going to give you a really good one today. I don't know if you guys heard of him. His name is Joe Burrow, quarterback LSU. He's a pretty big deal coming up this April in the draft. 2019 Heisman Trophy winner, and you're going to see him this Saturday in the college football national championship against Clemson. This guy is a generational talent. He is a fantastic quarterback. And Austin, what do you got to say about this guy? He's so fun.
I am really excited to dive in and to just really talk about what makes this guy tick and to talk about why he's considered to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. He's phenomenal. There's some concerns. There's some skepticism about him because he's only had really one full season of playing time. Obviously, the last time we had that concern, it was with Mitch Trubisky coming out of Carolina. Um, but I don't think that we're going to have that issue with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has quite a great track record. I mean, he won his first college football playoff game against Oklahoma. He's beaten Alabama this year. Also, he's beaten Auburn, Florida, Georgia. He's beaten all the top teams in the SEC. So I think he's good on that end. But just really excited to dive in and to share my opinion and to hear yours about what makes this guy so special.
Yep. Without further ado, we're going to get started. You're going to see a lot more of these as we get closer and closer to April's draft. We're really excited to get you all the content we possibly can. With Joe Burrow today, we're really going to break down two games specifically, the Alabama LSU game, which was a fantastic game for more than just Joe Burrow, but we're really going to focus on him, and then the college football playoff game against Oklahoma, where he just lit it up, actually 8 touchdowns, insane. So let's break it down for Joe Burrow, quarterback, LSU. Check it out.
The first play that really stood out to me was really early in the game. Obviously, I think this was either LSU's first or second drive, but I'm just gonna let the play roll through so you can see 2nd and 3, and you see him drop back and just makes a heck of a throw. I mean, holy
Yeah.
cow. So rewind it back a little bit. The first thing that I noticed was how cool. What I thought was cool was the two receivers that are bunched up here. You see from his head that he's watching these guys, and what really stood out to me was he saw these two right here, and then he sees the corner over here bite down, leaving this guy over here wide open, floats it perfectly in between there. And that, to me, this is perfectly timed. Good anticipation. He dropped it right in between the corner that was tailing him and the safety that was up top. And to me, that was just a really, really phenomenal throw. And I really, just how that whole play developed was really genius. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head on that. When you look at the beginning of the play and you see that left tackle, he's actually getting some pressure in his face and doesn't look like it phases him at all. Now, obviously, he doesn't have to move. You'll see later on that he avoids pressure pretty well for the majority. But in this time, I mean, his left tackle is right in his face, and
Yeah, you
he's
see it. He's getting pushed. He's getting pushed back a little bit.
exactly. And that, I mean, that moment right there, being able to still execute and execute greatly too, getting it between the corner and the safety, just like you said, it's a fantastic play.
Yeah, I like how if you slow it down to let's slow it down to half speed here. Um, you see him drop back, and he's not looking anywhere else on the field. He's looking at this, and you see the corner playing far off here. This corner is man on man right here, and they just shake that whole left side of the defense up. I don't know what this corner's doing, but he's biting down, and it just leaves him wide open. And it's just a perfect throw. And you see the corner or the safety's back here, and he just fits it right in between them. Like you can't dial it up any better than that. You really can't.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that he plants his feet, he's square when he throws the football. His hips are where they need to be. His shoulders are in the right position. It's not too low. It's not dropped, especially for something where you're going to float it. It's a really good pass. It's a really good selection here to start off our scouting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is perfect touch, perfect anticipation, knowing what's going to happen with the route. the anticipation, seeing that safety drop down, just really, really phenomenal. I'm going to move it forward to another play that I thought was pretty good. Move forward here. I'm going to make sure I get it back up to full speed. Okay. So just let the play roll through. Steps up. Bang. So one of the things that I noticed with this play is it's not a perfect throw from him. Obviously you got the play action going on. Drops back. He's got a little bit of pressure. You got 33 here, and you got a guy coming around here with the running back kind of chip blocking a little bit. He steps up in the pocket, throws. He throws a little behind number one there. But overall, I think it's just a very good basic play. He's getting a little bit of pressure around the edge. You see him step up right there, and then he just throws a nice pass for a big game. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's something that I do see a lot. I mean, hey, he's one of the most accurate college football passers that we've ever seen. But there are moments that you'll see that he does a throw that's behind. And you got to give a lot of credit to the wide receivers he has on staff. So when you think about him at a professional level, wherever he goes, you have to hope that these receivers can also make adjustments like these receivers did at LSU, because there are moments where he's had he's put the ball in the receiver's hands where he could do it a lot better. So there's definitely some improvement there that I would say. This isn't the first time that I've seen this, and we'll probably see some more later especially when we look at the game against Oklahoma. There were some games, there's some plays that did that. But I'm such a big fan of how Joe Burrow plays the play action, and like I said, we'll even see more of this too. Wherever he goes, whatever scheme that they decide to put him in, play action needs to be in the primary, because the fact that he can read the play while he's looking through the read of his running back and going through it, and then be able to just quickly make a play that he constantly does. He's usually already in the throwing motion by the time that his running back has just passed him. He's very good at play action, and that'll help so tremendously at the next level. So that's where I see this right here is something that, when you look at the play overall, play action's a plus. Love the way he steps up in the pocket. But this isn't the first time I've seen him throw behind a receiver, so that's something that I would say is an improvement for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoy his pocket presence here. You see, he does a PA read, and then he drops back, and then, like I said, you see number 33 kind of getting on the edge, and he just makes a little adjustment, steps up in the pocket, makes a decent throw, and regardless of whether the throw is behind the receiver or not, the receiver makes the catch. And it's a first down for LSU.
Now, stepping up in the pocket like that, it's very easy to put a lot of weight on that front foot. He does a pretty good job adjusting his shoulders, keeping them square, and making that throw. Although, like you said, we keep saying that it's a little behind. If you pay attention to it, he doesn't put all that weight on that front foot. He still gets the opportunity to continue and make at least a play. So I'd say good on that. That's the toughest part about stepping up the pocket and still making a play downfield.
Absolutely. The next play that I have is right after this one. 1st and 10, drops back, great elusiveness there, and it just makes a little dump off. Like, it's a really simple play, but there's a lot to look at within it. You see play action right here. These two guys break free, and he's aware of that. He senses the pocket's collapsing, does a little move, and just leaves those two in the dust, dumps it off to Moss, and gets a little gain. Like I said, it's not a first down, of course, but it's a good play showing that awareness that he has in the pocket, and then after avoiding a sack, being able to run a little bit, not give up on the play. He's not scrambling. He sees this guy's coming towards him, and this guy's way back here, makes a nice little throw to Moss, and gets a nice little gain.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the way he got out of the pocket here. Davis, he's going to be another possibly a first-round draft pick in that 99 right there in the first round this year. So we'll see what happens in that case. But, I mean, that's just right there shows that he is not afraid to make a play. I like the fact when he scrambles out of the pocket, he looks to the inside to try to draw off a safety or defensive back before making the dump-off play to the outside. You could tell you knew that he was already going to make that play to the outside. He was hopefully he was not smart, not dumb enough to make the a cross-body throw down, to the middle of the field. But the fact that he tried to look off a safety or a defensive back while he was taking a scramble and running off, I think that helped make this play successful. Even though it was 5 yards, but hey, 5 yards is a lot. So I really like this play overall. This is probably my favorite play we've seen so far. It shows that he can be disciplined and not make it a bad decision when the pressure hits him.
And to me, it shows how much you have to fear his ability to scramble, because you see 35 right here. He's covering, he's watching Moss, but then as soon as he sees Burrow take off and scramble, he breaks and heads towards Burrow. Burrow sees that, and then makes a little toss. That shows like how much defenses have to respect his speed and quickness. So props to Burrow on this play. All right, the next play is later on in the game, near the end of the second quarter. And make sure this goes back. Okay. There we go. Burrow drops back, throws in the face of pressure, boom, touchdown. Simple play. A lot of plays that I have are not complicated, but you see it off the bat. As soon as he sets in the pocket breaks down. Two guys get free, stands in the face of pressure. He knows he's going to take a shot, takes a hit, and then throws a perfect ball to his running back in between kind of three defenders, and then gets a nice little touchdown. What are your thoughts?
Even in shotgun, he quickly gets that 3 to 5 step drop back and makes that play. And I think that's the crucial part about this that you have to pay attention to. Now, obviously, there's a blitzer there. It's basically untouched in there after they do that technique on the defensive line. And right there, that quick step back, he's already planning, he's ready to throw, and then it's within 2 seconds that ball's out and it's 10 yards down the field. That's the impressive part about his play that I really enjoy to watch the most. Just seeing that step back, seeing that pocket presence, and like you said, he knows he's going to take that hit. He did take a hit too. It was a pretty big hit if you watch it towards the end, and he still puts it on target. This is one of those plays where he didn't underthrow or didn't throw it behind. He threw this play right on where he needed to. Maybe a little bit farther ahead he could have, but he was struggling with the out of bounds there. So great throw here, great play by Burrow. There's a reason we're talking about this kid a lot, with a lot of good things and not a lot of bad things.
Absolutely. I love his toughness. This isn't the first time that you'll see him stand in the pocket. I mean, like right here, he's getting hit.
Yep.
Like that's not going to be a soft blow. He takes a big hit, and we've seen him take massive hits. I think the biggest hit that I saw him took was when they played was it Central Florida last year, or not this past bowl season, but the season before. And he just got absolutely rocked. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if he's going to be able to get back up and continue playing. He got back up and helped lead his team to victory and took out a undefeated Central Florida team. So he's a tough guy, and that's one of the things that I really have admired about him in his time at LSU. Just looking at it one more time, and I got one more play from this one of my favorite games of the year. This one's in the second half.
Yeah, you could easily say that this Alabama LSU game, I know we talked about it earlier, that this put Joe Burrow on the map. This was the game that really said, hey, pay attention. We have a quarterback on the map. I know that this was the 9th game into the year, but this is really what, made Joe Burrow the fact that he's going to probably go number 1 overall in April.
For those who really follow college football closely, I think the Texas game was the one that really put him on the map. But for those who don't pay attention as much, obviously this is the LSU versus Bama. It's one of the most highly anticipated games each year. And so seeing him go off like this was it put him on a lot of people's maps. Because I know a lot of my friends, I tell them about Joe Burrow. They're like, Joe Burrow? Who's that? And then after this game, they knew who he was. So this is the last play that I got. Just watch it through. Bama showing blitz. They blitz 2. And this is a bad play that I wanted to bring up. I was kind of disappointed in his decision making. You see Bama's showing blitz. They bring two drop to, drops back, and this dude runs free. Burrow doesn't see it, doesn't sense it, and tries to try to force the ball out of his hand, and it's just kind of a freakish play. It goes right in the hands of 24. I think honestly, if you're Burrow in this situation, you kind of just got to tuck the ball in and go for a sack. I mean, you see this guy's right here. Everybody's covered for the most part. I don't know, what are you going to do with the ball? What are your thoughts on this play?
The biggest thing here that I sense is that he did not sense his blind side. He didn't sense the guy coming at him in the back, and I believe that there was probably some contact with that ball on that edge rusher on the backside there that caused this ball to come out. Now, I don't think that I don't think he made this throw. As you can see, there was a tip, so that's what made it basically drop into 24's hands. But if that pressure wasn't there behind him, this is a play that we've seen over and over again with Burrow, where there's a blitzer right in front of him, or someone right. This is like we saw with a touchdown play a couple minutes ago, that he was not afraid to throw it and know he was going to get hit. So I think that's the sense here. I think that's just an unfortunate event when it comes to Burrow in this case. If you had to know the sense the pressure more. So if you want to call that a weakness or call something to work on, I could agree with that. That you sense more of the pressure from the backside and not just in something in front of you. Like work on your peripherals for sure. I would say that. But if you recall from the play before the touchdown, that was the same instance. You had a blitzer who was untouched, who was coming after you. He still made the throw and got hit. So when you look at it like that, you kind of can't take away his toughness and look away that he's not afraid that have a defender right in his face and still make a play. In this case, he just needs to pay attention to someone behind him, and hopefully he has more help this time from his left tackle.
Yeah, that was 15. He came out on a tear, and you could see where the lineman's at and where the blitzer's at, and the lineman is not in a good position to catch up to him.
Yeah.
At this point, he's already beat, and I feel like LSU was preparing for a blitz. I mean, obviously, you see, all these guys right here in the box, and only two guys back here. You're going to be expecting some pressure to be coming towards you, and you could tell quick 3-step drop. He was trying to get the ball out, but the blitzer was just way too fast for him. Hit him on his blind side. Just a really kind of unfortunate play. Like I said, I think with 24 sitting right there, I think he should have just tucked the ball and taken a sack. But it's kind of not his nature. His nature is to stand up in the pocket and to make plays happen. But just unfortunate play here. And if I'm not mistaken, Bama scored off of this.
Yeah.
So
he didn't whine about the turnover right away, though. I mean, he made the tackle too. So I mean,
that really
unfortunate event, he made the interception, but he made the tackle. So you have to. I'm not trying to toot Burrow's horn too much. I mean, there's a reason why we're looking at him so good, right? That Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. I don't have to explain that to you. The film shows it, but it's an unfortunate event. It's a tip in the back. There's a reason that he wasn't afraid to make the throw with this guy in front of him. We saw it in the touchdown play earlier, and he finishes the tackle all by himself too, a quarterback. So his toughness is there. You can't take that away from him.
Absolutely. That's all I have from the Bama game. So we got your game coming up next with Oklahoma.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, next we're going to start off the college football semifinal, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. This was a fantastic game for Joe Burrow. Man, he had 8 total touchdowns in this football game, but there were some improvements that we can see, but there are a lot of good things too. We're going to start off with a good thing here. This is one of the touchdowns he threw to Jefferson. Now, if you look at the beginning of the play here, as it scrolls in, he steps up in the pocket really nice. He senses pressure and still makes a great throw on the run. Now, you're going to notice this a lot in the way that in this football game exactly. He does a lot of good throwing on the run. He does that a lot in this football game. He senses pressure. Oklahoma did a pretty decent job getting pressure on him, but I will say that LSU also protected Burrow really well too. So, but when he got outside the pocket and he had the sense to throw and make a throw, for the most of the time he did it. This is one of the best moments here. He didn't throw it behind him. He threw it where only his receiver could get it, and it was a fantastic touchdown. So anything you got to add on that?
I think you hit the nail on the head. Perfect example of pocket awareness, sensing that the pocket was collapsing around him, moving, feeling it out, and then you see him. That was a perfect throw, absolutely a perfect throw. That was such a tight window for him to throw in. You see right here, boom, moves to the left, makes the throw on the run. That was an incredibly tight window for him to throw through, and he hit it perfectly. That's just something that we've seen from Burrow all year, and I think as the pressure has increased on him, playing Bama, playing in the college football playoff, it's made him perform better. I mean, hey, pressure produces diamonds, so that's what we're seeing.
Absolutely. All right, the next play. This was a fantastic play as well for Burrow. Really enjoyed this one. Take a watch.
Deep
Now,
pocket. Mm.
now you look here. This is a play that I'm sure that went viral. If you were on Twitter during this game, you watched it. So you can see that the pocket's pretty nice, but he's starting to sense pressure. It's 3rd and 2 here. He wants to make a play. So look at him go.
Directing traffic. That play was crazy.
Now, that was the
Oh
craziest
yeah.
play for sure in that one. And I had to make sure that got on there. Now, there's a couple good things I want to bring up and a couple bad things. Good thing, he senses the pressure. He has great protection from the line here, but he still wants to get outside the pocket because his receivers are not anywhere near he can make the play. He comes outside the pocket. Now, look how far back he's getting, though. This
Mm-hmm.
is dangerous. Yeah, he's trying to make a play. He's taking a risk. He's Look where he's at, though, on the field. Okay, it could be 1st and goal if something happens to this football. But he gets around. He decides to make a play. He knows he's going to take a hit. He takes a huge hit, and he makes the miraculous catch here. But that easily could have been a turnover. That could have been a bad play. Luckily, it worked out for him in this case. He did take a hit and still makes a good throw. What's your thoughts on this? This is a really crazy play. I had to make sure it was in there.
He got lucky. You see Kenneth Murray stumble?
Yeah.
Watch Kenneth Murray. You see him breaks a break and just trips. If if Kenneth Murray stays on 2 feet, this play doesn't happen. But overall, he does a great job of directing traffic. Making sure his receivers go downfield. Close call though, because I remember they had an issue wondering whether or not the receiver did illegal touching or not. Because he was pushed out of bounds, came back in, was the first person to touch the ball. But great, fantastic awareness. I think his awareness of when the pocket is collapsing around him is one of the best I've seen so far this season, and probably one of the best in the draft. I think him and Fromm are two of the best quarterbacks when it comes to sensing the pocket collapsing around them. Great play. I agree with you. There's a bit of a risk scrambling, that far back because if he gets sacked, you're putting your punter at risk for a block punt. If something happens with the ball, like you said, it's a 1st and goal for the other team. But I think it's a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill combined in both of these.
There you go. All right, let's move on. All right, let's move on to this play right here. I like the sense that he starts off this play with play action. We talk about how great his play action is. He senses pressure, steps up on it, and makes a miraculous catch here. Now, the receiver wound up dropping the ball. It's an incomplete pass, but if you look at Burrow's play here, he senses the pressure right here, and he steps forward. He easily looks. You can see that he's looking for a lane right off the bat. He looks like he might have his tight end over here, or maybe it's not his tight end. It's just another receiver sitting at the 30-yard line. But he goes up to take a step on the play. Now I'm go ahead and take a trick out of your book here and move it to half speed, and we're gonna watch this happen here. And how he steps forward. Now see, he's already got his shoulders squared.
Beautiful.
As soon as he evades that defender, he already has his shoulders squared. He's got a little bit too much weight on that front foot for me to be a little liking there, but he really doesn't have a choice here. He makes a great play anyways. It's a great throw, but you can see that there's a little too much weight on there. It's causing his shoulders to go a little lower. You could square that up, it'd be great, but his arm is up there. His elbow is in the right position. He'll go ahead and make that throw. Some power with that behind there, and makes a great pass. It is a little high. Now, that could be compensating for that weight, on that front thing now because he rockets it. So if
Yeah, he
you pay
does.
attention, he has to put a lot of emphasis behind there, and that could be caused with that weight in that front foot. But it's a great throw for what he has to do and evade that. Now, if unfortunately he could have made that catch. You got anything else to add on that as I bring it back to full time?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Great. Once again, great awareness. Good throw. Puts it close to rather the money, a little high for Jefferson to make. But like I've always said, if you're a receiver and the ball hits you in the hands, you should catch it. But I love his ability to step up in the pocket and make throws. It's just a shame Jefferson dropped it.
Yeah, great play. And these two plays right here, well, I'd say especially that last play when he had that crazy catch, really changed the pace of this game and really basically kind of took the momentum away from Oklahoma. It was only a 14-7 game at this moment, and Burrow, this drive really changed the whole momentum of the football game. So with that would have been just another dagger.
Mm.
All right, next play, we're going to get right into it, and you can check out this throw that he makes. A beautiful throw over the shoulder into his receiver's hands, and obviously it's Jefferson. He makes up for the drop pass, and it's a beautiful throw. Quick 3-step drop back, something I've already been talking about, and he makes that throw. He steps in. He's got a natural drop back. He drags that back foot, and not too much, just enough. It's not even a drag. It's a nice hop just to get his placement and his weight adjusted correctly. And I really enjoy it. Now, let's just take a look at it one more time. I want to put it in half speed for you as you can pay attention to his drop back because the drop back is what's really important when you're paying attention to quarterbacks, in my opinion. I really like the presence that he sits in that pocket. Now, we've been looking at him outside the pocket, but honestly, I think and this is a really play that shows it the most, he's the most dangerous when he gets protected.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to go to a team that's going to have a lot of needs, right? We're expecting him to go number 1 overall at the moment, Cincinnati Bengals. There's a lot of needs there. Is he going to have enough protection to make these plays? And if he does, he's going to have to get outside the pocket. If he has to get outside the pocket, we can see that he knows how to make plays, but he's stronger in the pocket here. And you can see that right here. We're putting it in half speed for you. He drops back as quick as he can. He's squared away already. He stays squared away. Makes that throw. It's a beautiful throw, too. Could be a little tighter at the spiral, but you can't ask for much more. That's perfect placement. Only a spot where his receiver can get it. It's a great pass. You got anything to add?
He took advantage of a mismatch. That mismatch happened all game. Number 25 was trying to cover Jefferson the entire game, and all game he was getting roasted. Now, you could watch Jefferson at the beginning of the route assert his dominance. He takes the inside and just burns number 25. And I think Burrow had been seeing this matchup, and he knows his receiver. He knows how good Jefferson is. And it's just a perfect exploitation of a weak corner against a very strong potential first-round receiver.
If you look at this play right now is when he decides to make that pass. Now, Jefferson just left our screen. That's the 25-yard line. So that shows that he has great trust in his receivers here. If he has great trust in his receiver and he's able to make that throw knowing that he's going to be where he needs to be, he catches it at the 3-yard line. So knowing that he's ready to throw that pass at the 25-yard line, he's going to catch it at the 2 or the 3-yard line. That's showing a lot of trust in his receiver there. And hopefully he can continue that in the pros and know that he's going to have the same trust on there. I'm really excited for Joe Burrow. I just hope he has all the offensive weapons he needs. He doesn't need them as much as maybe some other quarterbacks because he has that opportunity to get out of the pocket and make a play. But as we just saw in that play, he's super dangerous when he has that protection and is able to sit in the pocket.
Well, I mean, you look at Oklahoma, and they're notorious for having a not so good defense. Of course, this year it's been a better defense than in the past. But I wonder why he didn't have. Oh, I see what happened. Number 25 was playing as a safety. I was wondering why he didn't have any safety help, while the player covering Jefferson didn't have any safety help. But 25 is the safety in this play. I was wondering why he didn't have any help because Jefferson was just exploiting him the entire game. You see, number 25 he's sitting as a safety, and he drops down to cover Jefferson, and Jefferson roasts him. So it's just a great for me. It's a good quarterback notices mismatches with his receivers. He knows how quick Jefferson is. He knows how he can burn people if he's if he's at his best. And that's what Jefferson did all game. He burned people left and right. And so, props to Burrow, smart quarterback. I can't wait to see him in the pros.
All right, we're going to get into, I think, 2 more plays. And here's another one right here. And as he throws an incomplete pass, dude's got an arm, though. So you look at this play right here with Joe Burrow. Really great protection. Starts the breakdown and gets outside. And he can make the run. He can make that play. But what I really wanted to pay attention to is right here when he starts to take off with the ball. Look at him holding it with 2 hands. Then he decides, is he going to make a play? He tries to look for it, and then that's when the hand comes off. Now, it looks like there's some contact over here with 22, and he doesn't get his receiver open. As soon as he decides to take that run, tucks it. And that's a really good tuck. It's to the outside. It's a very good ball carrying right there by Burrow. He's not, something that he hasn't learned yet is he's not very good at sliding yet. So we're going to see. So we're going to pay attention to that. So ball security is very important for him. But he tucks it. He uses the outside arm. It's very basic fundamentals here, but it's something that some quarterbacks don't do. And we're already seeing that with Joe Burrow. Very good technique, very good fundamentals. Anything to add on something as small as this?
He's not a quarterback that's going to run first. You see while he's scrambling that he's looking downfield. He's looking for a play. And when he realizes that there's nothing there, he takes off and goes for a run. This was a big play for the offense, kept the drive going. And also, if I'm not mistaken, there was a targeting call for that hit on the running back. So, huge turn for, LSU. For one, he got the first down. And then on top of that, you have the 15 yards and an ejection for the targeting. So, just great job by Burrow. I think he kind of knows that he has a free play here. And, he's sneaky fast. Like, honestly, I'm curious to see what his 40 is going to look like at the combine because he is sneaky fast.
Yeah, he's got some wheels, and it's not Lamar Jackson fast, but he's able to make plays if he needs to, and he's not afraid to put his head down either. That's something that we have seen that might actually cause some heads to fly, some red flags. So I think that as he gets to the pro level, they're going to make sure that he slides because he's going to be something that you take care of as we move forward into the career of him. He's going to be a franchise quarterback, so they're going to want to protect him as much as they can. Absolutely. I got one more for you as we finish off the college football semifinals, and I was a big fan of this play, and I'll explain why to you in just a minute. Yeah, as you saw, Jefferson, 4 touchdowns. All right, here is the play that I really enjoyed. Now, another play action. It was a quick play action, as you see here, but it's just enough. It's all he needs. It makes that linebackers take one step. Wide open Moss here. Now, this was a fantastic. I'm going to show it one time. We ain't going to go all the way into it every time. Now, if you pay attention to how it works right here, first this play action. Like I said, it's really quick, but these linebackers take that one step. He sees the mismatch. He sees both of them take that, and he makes that throw. It's a great throw. I mean, it's a touchdown. You can't go wrong with that. But even if that cornerback decides to follow Moss in the back there, number 11, he's on the outside. He throws it to the inside of Moss, and that's a great throw. Even if the 11 was on him, that's still a reception.
Well, if you play it back, you look at number 34. 34 was lined up as a blitzer. He tries to kind of chip Moss, slow him down, and he does. See right there, boom, knocks him a little bit. Still stays on path. 11's too worried about the receiver to care about number 81. And it's just a perfect example of Burrow once again exploiting a breakdown in coverage. I think he's the type of quarterback where if you screw up once, then he is going to make you hurt. And that's an example of what happened. I mean, Moss is more of a receiver than he is a tight end, but what a play! And Randy's a proud dad there.
Yeah, absolutely. Any final thoughts on Joe Burrow as we end off this scouting video of you and I for Draft Bros U. I really enjoyed this, but we're going to do a lot more of these. So hope you guys like this too. Definitely comment and subscribe of us on YouTube and hit us up on Twitter at Draft Bros U. If you have a player you want us to scout, definitely hit us up on the comments. We'll definitely give you a scouting report. We always love to hear your guys' takes and your guys' views. That's why we do it. We do it for you guys. So any final views on what you got for Joe Burrow?
Oh man, I am excited to see this guy get drafted. I'm excited to see him in Cincinnati. Hopefully, he could turn his franchise around. Um, you got a fairly new coach, a lot of new pieces coming into play in Cincinnati. I think there's a lot of potential for Burrow. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of questions about, can he handle being in a situation like Cincinnati? There's a lot of questions surrounding that. But I think like we've seen today, he has the skills and in the ability to turn the franchise around, and he has the possibility to be the face of a franchise. And so I'm really excited. I think he has a lot of qualities that translate well into the NFL. In my opinion, he's the most NFL-rated quarterback in this draft, and I'm excited to see him go to work at Cincy.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time for our draft type videos, draft type over at Draft Bros U. Take care.